Hello, welcome to a Sunday chat. I'm running behind schedule a little bit today. I was busy loading my cooking video. I've been a while since I load a cooking video, and I finally loaded one. So for those that's interested in watching a cooking video, there's a link below. I cook a beef stew with red wine. Very simple recipe, very few ingredients. My cooking channel is called The Minimalist Cook. So I try to keep everything simple so that it's not so that it's easy for everyone to try. I love cooking shows. I watch a lot of cooking shows as well as on TV or YouTube. And one of the things that I sometimes, not always, sometimes I get annoyed that the recipe is so complicated. The ingredients are so complicated and so many that it discouraged me from trying to make that dish. But I try to give a recipe that I think is real simple to try and taste good. Ultimately, that's the goal. Well, it's Sunday, football. Last week, the Steelers, the injuries. The loss was painful, but the injury to Bell was even worse. I feel bad for the young man. That's something else about football I don't like, is that it's the injuries are so unpredictable. It could ruin a career. It could ruin a season for a team. That's part of football that I do not like. There's no way around it because the players are bigger, stronger, faster, and the law of physics is working against tendons, ligaments. This week against the Raiders, I expect them to win even without Bell. Last week, the defense played great, better than I expected. But Ben, as usual, on his first game back after a major injuries, he's rusty, so he didn't play good. Those interception was brutal, and then Bell got hurt. Oof, not much you can do. It's just a brutal game to watch. This week, we'll see. For those interested in seeing my prediction with Anthony, he has his channel up and he make weekly prediction with me. I did pretty good last week. Last week I was 10 out of 14 games. Pretty good. Let's see how well I will do this week. If I keep doing this well, maybe I should make a bet in Vegas. Anyhow, time for comic book talk. Yesterday I had a great chat with Mike Smith. He did trivial game with me, and for those that haven't seen the trivial game, for sure, look at that. It's a lot of fun. Mike Smith did very well. Good morning, Mike. Good morning, Joe Cool. Good morning, Sushi X and Ron Chang. First off, quick question from Ron Chang. What does a pop staple of a comic book look like? A pop staple is the term pop staple is somewhat confusing to people because it's not the staple that is pop. It's the cover that is ripped away from the book. I have an example somewhere. I'll be right back. Give me about 5 seconds. I will grab a book that have a pop staple to show you, okay? Okay, I'm back. For those that see my new video that I posted up this morning, my collection video, I load up an Avenger video, my Avengers, my Silver Age and early Bronze collection. And in that box is this book with the pop staple. Let's take it out and look. This book have a pop staple, if you can see. Here's where the bottom staple should be, right? And the cover is no longer attached to it. Okay, if you look inside the book, I'm not sure how clear it's gonna be, but you can see the book and the staple is still there, but the cover is no longer attached right there. So that is what is called a pop staple. Okay, a lot of time, sadly, the pop staple came from production. A lot of time, but it's one of those production flaw that CGC and CBCS and anybody that grade a book will deduct very harshly with it, because it's a flaw that need to be deducted harshly. Okay, so that's what a pop staple is. Okay, let me put this back into the bag. One thing, I didn't buy anything new this week. I did not get a chance to see James Bond last Friday night. Something arrived and we were not able to catch the movie at the time that we could, so I could not do a movie review yesterday. We were able to go out for dinner, but we had to make a choice. Either, well, if we went to see the movie, we probably would have missed the first 5-10 minutes, and I just don't want to do that. I mean, we were running so late that even with the 10 minutes of preview, we still would be another 5 to 10 minutes late, and I just didn't want to chance it. There will be another chance, but the most interesting that came in the mail last week with this book, for those that get the free book from Heritage, you already know what this is, but for those that haven't seen it, this is the latest catalog for the November 14th to 17th auction. No, November 19th to 21st auction. And is with Heritage. Once you see this cover, you see what the biggest, potentially the biggest item for the auction. And it's the original art of Green Lantern 76, as you can see. This auction is gonna be bonkers crazy, okay? Bonkers crazy. I can see things going completely crazy. I'm excited. I can't wait to do a recap of the auction, and I definitely will do at least 2 videos. There's just too many good things in here to not talk about. You have the comic books, and then you have the original arts capped with this beautiful original Neal Adams drawing. Somebody, a collector, is liquidating a massive collection of high-grade Marvel, because in this auction is a huge run of Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, and Avengers in high grade. By high grade, I mean mostly it's 9.6, 9.8, some 9.4, but my God, you're talking about freak of nature. So somebody spent a lot of time and money put together an incredible collection. Joe Cool said, really a factory production flaw? Absolutely. Joe, if you follow a certain book, let's say Batman 222, the one that Neal Adams did with the pseudo Beatles on the cover, a lot of those books had pop staple, okay? A lot of time when you see a book with pop staple, as far as the cover is concerned, you see many that have similar problem. And it's a production flaw. It's just one of those things where when they go through the production line, the staple machine was calibrated a little bit to a point where the certain pressure was put on incorrectly, and you can have a pop staple. It happened all the time. There's a lot of production flaw that hurt the book that happened during production. It's nothing you can do. You gotta understand, comic books are not produced with the highest quality, not with the highest eye toward perfection. It's disposable entertainment. For decades, it wasn't meant to be to produce perfectly so that people can enjoy 9.8 near mint condition. That's what make collecting older books from the prior to modern age fun, because finding near mint plus books are not easy, even new books. These days, production process has changed to a point where 99% of what's hit the rack is 9.8, 9.9, 10.0. I mean, it's perfection. The books are produced today with perfection, with precision, compared to what was done back in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, even the 90s. But back to the staple pop, I can think of at least half a dozen books that I have over the years that had that issues, where you seem like whenever I look on eBay, I see so many copies with the pop staple. When I see that, then it tells me that the staple pop is more of a production flaw than a human flaw. It's certainly a poor handle book can have a staple pop, but not when you have a near mint book. Just like my Avengers book, okay? This book that I have is pristine. It's like a 9.6 book. Nothing's wrong with it. So for it to have a clean staple pop, I say it's production flaw. Okay, as far as this catalog, it's insane. The only thing that's missing from this auction is having Action 1 or Detective 27. There's no eye candies like that. Joe talked about grading wise. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Certain production flaw doesn't hurt the grade that much, like printer crease. I'm sure you're familiar with printer crease. There are many books with big printer crease. I mean, by big, I mean things that are 3 or 4 inch long across the front cover that are in 9.4. Sure, I think if you get to the 9.6, 9.8, the grader might ding the book a little bit, just because the printer crease is just too ugly to ignore and to give it a 9.8. But 9.4 and lower, trust me, there are so many books with printer crease on the front cover, on the back cover, on both covers, that you can't really say that printer crease hurt the grade. So that's one production flaw. And then bindery tears, okay, that's another production flaw. Like you see most comic books in the Bronze Age and Silver Age had a little tear here or up here. If you look at enough slabs, you see plenty of books in 9.4, even 9.6, with bindery tears up here or down here or both ends. So that's another one where, unless you get to the 9.8, the graders will allow those kind of flaws to exist in 9.4 for sure, okay? Yes, Sergeant Deathstroke commented that, hey guys, I found a Journal of Mystery 112 today with double staple, but the extra set of staple didn't penetrate the back cover. Only the last 8 page. Is this production? It is production, but it's one of those oddity. I have a couple of those type of books in my collection, And what happened is through the stapling process. Okay, when the books are when the interior page are folded and stapled, the cover is attached to the page first before they are folded and then stapled. What happened is sometimes the machine misplace the cover. That's how you have double covers. I believe sometimes when you have a book that have a double cover, the next book behind it is missing a cover. Okay, you catch my drift as far as what I'm trying to say. So you have a book, the production line, the stapling machine, one book. When they grab the cover, grab two and staple, and then you have a book with a double cover. The next book is going to be missing a cover, and the staple go on. Now at the end of the production line, there's a human, there's a person standing there looking at the book. That they have a choice to throw away the misstapled book without the cover. Okay, they can do that, or sometimes they put those books without the cover back into the line through the stapling process so that a cover can be attached. So what happened is you have a book that has 4 staples, 2 on the interior and then 2 that go through the replaced cover. Okay, so it's a production flaw, but I believe CGC will not give you a blue label on those type of book, because there is no way to prove that that's what happened. Just my opinion, okay? I have never submitted any of my copies that had that staple flaws, but this was explained to me from somebody that used to work at Sparta years ago. So I take his explanation and understand what was said. So that's what happened. Ron Chang said, best place to buy an Amazing Fantasy 15. The best place is through an auction, and most likely you will get the best price at Comic Link, in my opinion. You know, through the years, I felt that either Comic Link or Heritage. Okay, if you can get can bid on Heritage at the right time, you might be able to look out and get a copy of Amazing Fantasy 15 below GPA. But it requires luck. Otherwise, the best place to buy it is contact a dealer, a big dealer that have many copies, like Metro. They have multiple copies, and they will sell you a copy at GPA. You know, you're not gonna get a deal. One thing I will keep reminding people is, if you're trying to find deals on mega keys, it's gonna be hard. Not that it cannot be done, but it will be very hard to get deals on mega keys, because a lot of people will fight you for that copy. You know, you just can't get lucky. You can't get lucky. The last person that bid on a Detective 31 got lucky, even when that book was auctioned off by Metro, I believe. That book went real cheap. At the end of the day, when you're talking about books that are $30, $40, $50, $60, $70,000, the pool of buyers are very few and far in between. But when you're talking about Amazing Fantasy 15 in the 2.0, 2.5, 3.0 range that are $10,000 or less, I can guarantee you there will be a lot of people fighting you for that copy. So deals are not to be expected. Okay, don't hope for a deal. If you see the copy that you want, pay up and get it, because you're not going to get something that's like 10% below market. That ain't going to happen. I wish you luck to get a copy, but the art of trying to get a cheap copy as far as Amazing Fantasy 15 is slim to none. Joe Cool asked, If an adventure book, like my book, like my copy, okay, that have a pop staple, 8.0. Okay, it is pushing it. I'm more comfortable selling this book. If I was to sell this book, I would give it a grade of 6.0. But I have seen crazy books that got an 8.0, which I disagree with. Okay, I disagree with the grade. But for me, whenever I have a beautiful book like this with a pop staple like this, I would list it as a 6.0 without thinking twice. But that's just the way I grade. If you talk to CGC folks, they might say 6.0, but could be a little bit higher depending on how nice the rest is. But to me, 6.0. And I have submit a book with pop staple that look really good. That could be 9.2, 9.4-ish with a pop staple, and it got a 6.0. So I know for a fact that, for sure, a 6.0 is within the range. Can it be 8.0? Depend on the bias, I guess. The seller can call it whatever grade it is, right? As a seller, you can call it, I have seen enough crazy people on eBay with horrible grading skills calling a lot of things that are not what they're supposed to be. But for me, 6.0. Sushi Egg asks, he can get a good deals on Collector Society. Yes, if you join the CGC forum, you are likely to get something slightly, okay, but I say slightly below GPA. I have advised many people to do that, so it's possible. But at the same time, there are people that was able to get cheap copies at Comic Link and then trying to flip it at CGC forum. So, deals can be had. It's just about luck and timing, But I see it happen all the time where people get a good deals at an auction like Heritage or Comic Link or Metro, and then they're trying to flip it on the CGC forum where everybody know how much you pay for it. Yeah, good luck with that. I'm holding a Subsidy comic book art. Oh, yes. For those that are not aware of the way the market used to be, prior to 2000, if you want comic books, major keys, you're not going to be able to find them at Heritage or Comic Link. They don't exist. Comic book auction didn't really exist at those locations back then. You had to go to Christie's, major art auction houses, and those are pretty awesome. Even in the 90s, I think a lot of the big books, big grail books that exist today, like the high grade Action 1 or high grade Detective 27, many of those books were auctioned off at the big Sotheby or Christie. Sushi X LOL. I bet you laughing at my comment about people trying to flip deals on CGC forum, right? I have the CGC forum are probably one of the more hardcore collector society out there. Much more than YouTube. I think YouTube is great because I think it's more welcoming to younger, newer, less seasoned collectors. But once you get into the CGC forum, you're dealing with hardcore collectors, long-time dealers that know the market very well. And so it's hard to try to pull some kind of shady stuff or something stupid over most people there. So if you're nice, make friends over there. So Ron Chang, if you want a good deal on the Amazing Fantasy 15, join the CGC forum, just as I have suggested many times to many people. Join the forum, behave like a normal person instead of some kind of idiot. And over time, you will be able to get a good deal. I was able to get many keys, 10% below GPA in the forum. I bought my Fantastic Four #1 through the forum. So it can be done. It's just a matter of, join the forum and keep an eye out for the deals, because good deals will go very quick in the forum. The reason why people are willing to sell 5 to 10% below GPA is that, unlike eBay, Comic Link, Heritage, or other auction site, you don't have to pay a fees, okay, to sell. So a lot of sellers are willing to pass along the savings to the buyers. It's a nice thing. I do that too. When I sell in the forum, I do the same thing. I try to make it a win-win where I can make a little bit more because I don't have to pay Comic Link 10% or eBay 10%. But then I also want the buyer to be able to save and buy from me. So back to this book. Okay, I've been talking about other things so much that I haven't had a chance. But my God, look at this. Freak of Nature. 9.8, Spider-Man 14. Ooh, that's gonna be a doozy. That's gonna be insane. There's a nice looking Detective 31 here with a 1.0. It's restored, but it's nice. It's it has, I believe it has split covers. That's why it's a 1.0 detached cover. But then it had a couple of chunk missing here. You see that chunk right there, bottom and middle. But it's a 1.0. That's gonna go for a decent coin, I think, just because it's a good presented 1.0, and even it's restored. I won't be surprised if that book's gonna be in the 15,000, 20,000 range or higher. That's my prediction. Let's see how way off I'm gonna be. Like I said, this book does not have an action one. This auction does not have an action one or Tech 27, but look, a Superman one, a 1.5. Nice looking, huh? Not bad. Have a stain in the corner, but it's detached split cover. I want it. Can't afford it, but I want it. Let's see what else. There are so many beautiful, incredible books for the horror EC fan. Look at this. 9.9. Look at this. 9.9. Iconic covers. 9.9. What? That's gonna go for crazy money. Wow. And then of course you have, then they start to show off the Fantastic Four books. Look at that, 9.4. That's it. So many. These books are so much fun to flip through because it's just eye candies. Okay, just look at this row of 9.4 and 9.6, 9.8. Unbelievable. A full run. It's just, there's just so many. It's just, like I said, it's just 9.6, 9.8. Even look at this. First Galactus, first Black Bolt, 9.8. Look at that. Goodness. First Black Panther, 9.6. Talking about freak of nature, huh? Big money. Big money. And then, of course, you have 3 copies of Amazing Fantasy. There you go. Ron Chang. 7.0, 6.0, 4.0. This 4.0 used to be a restored copy that has been unrestored. Somebody is gonna make a nice flip on that one. And then you have a 9.6 CBCS restore. Look at that. Ooh, insane. Insanity. It's gonna be a fun auction to recap for sure. And then Spider-Man. Oh my goodness. The Silver Age Spider-Man books in this auction is insane also. Look at that. Wow. Look at that. 9.6. Okay. 9.8 first electro. Goodness. Like I said, it's gonna be it's unreal. I mean, it's one of those books where, you know, I flip through it. I think it came in the mail like Wednesday, and I flip through it. And I'm just like blown away, and just look. Oh, 3 copy of Fantastic Four #1, a 9.0, a 7, a 6.5. Look at that. All 3 copy, white covers. It's things that I champion, and it's gonna go for crazy money, more than I'm willing to spend. Ron Chang asks, what do you think of Amazon selling old comic books? I would not trust Amazon. I agree with Sushi X. Avoid Amazon as far as comic book back issue is concerned. Don't go there, okay? When you're talking about back issues, especially if you're talking about something like Amazing Fantasy 15, there's no cutting corners, okay? Anyone that see a deal on eBay when it comes down to Amazing Fantasy 15 has gotten themselves into buying a fraud, a scam. So make sure you, if you bid on eBay, make sure you bid from a seller that are reputable. If you're not sure, contact me. I will do my best to let you know if certain sellers on eBay are good or bad. Okay, I've been on eBay long enough, and you can ask other people too. If you belong to the CGC forum, certainly, you know, you can ask for help with any of the seasoned, long-time members there, and they will help you out to lend you a copy. No cutting corners when it comes down to big books. Journey to Mystery, first Thor, 9.6. Wowza, white page. Ooh. Like I said, if you can get your hand on this copy, it is a doozy. It's endless. You want to know what's hot? Not a surprise, right? With Strange Tale 110. There are 5 copies. 5 copies of Strange Tales, okay? Everyone is trying to make a buck. Oh my God, like I said, it's insane. And the original arts, like I said, I can spend hours. I can talk in a chat for hours with this book, because it's just eye candies galore. The original art section is insane. Okay, capped off with, of course, this iconic covers. And then if you are, you know, Spider-Man fan, Jack Kirby, Gil Kane, Buscema. Oh my God, it's just so many iconic pieces in here. Let me flip to the page. I tried my best to. Also, just look at this. It's a beautiful Logan Run right there. Look at that cover, huh? How about this one? For a Gil Kane fan out there, look at this. You can get this cover. It might go for $100,000. I don't know. What a lot of people have been trying to predict what's the price for this cover is gonna be. The price range is all over the place. You know, some people think it's gonna hit $1 million. I do not think it's gonna hit $1 million. I don't think it's gonna hit $1 million. I think it's gonna be more in the $300,000 to $400,000 range. That's my prediction. For Neil Adams' sake, who is getting a portion of this proceed, I'm sure he's hoping for a lot higher. But I think it's gonna be between $300,000 and $400,000. Who knows? Like I said, you know, at this range of madness, it's out of the realm of any of us mortal that can understand why or what people were thinking when they want to pay higher, right? is gonna be a big time Neil Adams fan. It could be Metro. Who knows? But it's gonna be crazy, and I can't wait to do a recap in a couple weeks. Okay, enough of this book. Enough. Oh my goodness. That book is the Fort Knox of comics. I think Joku, you must be referring to the catalog I'm talking about. Yeah, that catalog have millions. Okay, you're talking probably 4 million plus worth of proceed right there. So, you know, it's gonna be big money for Heritage. You know, and I probably will make a video one of these days to discuss, you know, why. You know, there's a lot of debate between collectors on, like, you know, why is it so expensive at Heritage? Why is it so expensive at Comic Link? Or some people think, you know, taking 20% at Heritage is too much compared to 10% at Comic Link and all that. But the one thing that you cannot compare Comic Link or Metro Comic Connect is the quality of the catalog. Okay, only one company would spend this much effort in putting together something like this every auction. It's Heritage. Does it worth the 19% commission, 19.5% commission? That's for the video. It's 11:45-ish. I can still talk for another 15-20 minutes. One of the things that I had fun talking with Mike Smith had a couple questions. I missed a couple questions, so my apology to people. Let's see. I thought I saw Mike Smith say, okay, what would you think of Nightwing making appearance in either Arrow or Flash? Would that make more sense? I say yes. I think Nightwing is best fitted for the small screen. In my opinion, you know, I'm not a hater of Robin or Nightwing, so either one of those characters would be fine with me. I prefer Nightwing. It's a cooler name than Robin. But I think so. I think the way, if the hints, you know, of what we saw in the movies, Batman versus Superman coming up, I don't think we had to worry about seeing Nightwing or Robin on the big screen. But I think Nightwing would be a good fit for Arrow or Flash, for sure. Aren't they supposed to be making a Teen Titan TV show? I'm out of the realm of speculating on TV shows, so I don't know. But I thought there was talk about a Teen Titan TV show. If that's the case, then I can see Nightwing having a spot in that TV show for sure. You know, you can't have Teen Titan without Nightwing. Mike Smith asked if I think Nightwing made a 4 to 6 episode run on Arrow, it would help Arrow catch up to Flash. Arrow is tough because, you know, I think the problem with Arrow this season so far is they're trying to set up the Legend of Tomorrow TV show with the rebirth of Sarah, right? Because she's gonna be in that show as well as the Atom. Correct me if I'm wrong. You know, I'm gonna say I'm just remember hearing and reading something about that. But I think that's the problem right now with Arrow so far, is that it's a setup show for that show. So it's so the storyline is kind of it's hard to describe the word. You know, I would say fragmented, but there's something wrong for me as far as the storyline that's going on with, you know, Sarah, with the Atom, and with the villain. Right now, the villain, I'm not a big fan of what's going on with the villain either. So I'm not sure what will propel Arrow uh, to a better showing. For me, I'm not sure. I'm still watching it, but so far I'm not all that thrilled with what's going on with the storyline with Sarah and the Lazarus Pit. Do you think the foreign buyers market has had a major impact on the availability and price of key books? I do not know. In all honesty, when it comes down to big books, when you're talking about spending 5 figures, once you cross the 10, 15, $20,000 range of books, the pool of buyers shrink significantly. Once you cross the $50,000 range, it shrink even more. And once you hit the 6 figures, you're talking a handful of people. It's not. It's a different world out there. It's a different air that they breathe up there compared to most of us down here. Is there foreign money? Is there hedge fund money? Is there people hedging out of the stock market to invest in comic books? Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. There's a reason why fine arts is also having a bubble. It's because, big money, hedge fund billionaires got to figure out a way to launder their money. And, it's for them right now, it's better to buy collectible than to buy a fancy car. Okay. Most fancy car does not appreciate, but real estate, arts, big key comic books, whatever collectible thing that big money can chase after to hide the money is influenced by big player, both domestic and foreign. Okay, there's no question that there's foreign money. I can tell you down here in Sarasota, there's a lot of $1-million home that have been built the past 3 years and sold for cash. Okay, in this tough environment, in this tough economic environment, it's unthinkable to see $4 or $5 million plus home for sale and sold. And guess what? It's not U.S. money. I talked to all the realtors in town. They said it's foreign money. The foreign money from Russia, from China, are the one that fork out $1 million to buy a home in cash. They don't deal with financing. So yes, foreign money is definitely propping up many markets, from real estate to fine arts to comic books, in my opinion. Do auction house tell on you to collect sale tax? No. I made a video about how comic book is a good way to avoid paying tax on game. So yes, it's not. They don't report. If they do, I don't know about it because I have no clue on how the IRS is keeping tabs on anything that's going on with comic book games. Okay, not just auction house, eBay. How? I got 10 more minutes to go. One of the fun thing that I discussed with Mike Smith yesterday off the air was my feeling about Green Lantern and what is wrong with the movie. Okay, so I'm going to try to spend the next 10, 15 minutes before I go talking about what I think was wrong with the movie. I don't think there was anything wrong with the casting. I don't have any issue with the acting as well. They're not perfect, but that's not the problem with the movie. The problem with the movie is the story for me. Okay, here's my problem. You start out a movie with this creature, this monster, this space creature that is so powerful that it was able to kill one of the strongest most respected Green Lantern out there. Okay, a seasoned, well-trained, and he got killed by this monster, and he landed on Earth. Okay, so from that part to the beginning of the movie, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with how the ring find Hal Jordan. I'm okay with how Jordan going to the home of the Lanterns and learning his skills. That's the best scene. And that's where the movie start to fail for me, because they could have done so much more. It was so cool to see all the other Lanterns there. They could have explored a lot more there. They could have shown him learning how to use his ring and power much, much more. They rushed through that. Okay, so that was the first time during the movie that I saw that I'm saying, wow, why did they rush this? There's no need to rush this through. And then to me, for the first movie, you don't need too many villains. Okay, you have that space monster, that parallax, whatever you want to call it. That was sufficient. To me, it would be sufficient for that creature to pursue the Lantern to Earth. Okay, for me, it would have been better off for the movie to focus on Hal Jordan learning his skills, meeting the other Lantern at the home world, and then rushing back to Earth to save Earth from this space creature. Okay, that would have been awesome. It would have been an incredible battle, and it would have been good to see how Jordan fail, because he's new, and it would have been awesome to see other Lantern coming in for help to show the unity of the Lantern. That to me would have been sufficient of a good movie instead of what we have. For Hal Jordan to get rushed through halfway through the movie, and then to come back to Earth, fight the bad guy, and then defeat the big monster by himself. That's a far-fetched. This same monster scare the best Lantern out there and kill him. And here you have a new Hal Jordan able to figure out a way to defeat the monster by himself. Oh, that, like I said, once that storyline took place where, you know, he learned his skills this quickly and get back into Earth, from that point on, the movie failed for me. And, you know, in my opinion, if the movie went the route that I outlined, I think it would have been a much better movie instead of what we had. I think, you know, sometimes too much is not good. You know, you have one villain. That one villain is enough. Let's do some more development with how he learned his power, how he accept his power, how he accept the role that he has with the Lantern Corps. Like I said, it's just it's a shame. It's a shame that that movie went that route, and it's just a shame that that movie failed, in my opinion. To me, that was a very disappointing movie. When I left that movie, I said they failed miserably because they trying to do way too much and ruin the movie. It would have been a better slow build to introduce us, to give us more of Hal Jordan on how he learned his power and how it's important for the Green Lantern to rely on each other, you know, because the Green Lantern Corps is a big deal, and that was never even mentioned. Damn shame. That's it, you know. So for those that never heard me talk about the Green Lantern movie and why I think it suck, that's why. What's my... Well, seem like I'm running out of time. Start a little bit late once again. If you interested in watching my cooking video, there's a link below to my stew, beef stew with red wine. It's delicious. Trust me, try it. It's so easy. It's very easy to do. Minimal amount of prep, minimal amount of ingredients that you don't have to buy a lot of different ingredients, and it tastes really good. It tastes good. I failed to mention it in the video, but it tastes good on a bed of rice or mashed potato. If you serve with mashed potato with that stew, delicious. Other than that, I have to say a big thank you for everyone. The few people that join in and stay. Oh, before I go, Sergeant Deathstroke said, "Did you see the Preacher teaser yet, Nick?" Yes, I did. I finally saw it last weekend after I saw The Walking Dead. The teaser looked interesting. I know nothing about Preacher, okay, and the teaser, the trailer looked interesting enough for me. I definitely will catch it. There's no doubt in my mind that I will watch it. Whether it's gonna be good or not, I don't know. I know many Preacher fans like Nate and other people that collect the comic books are super excited about it, and I have no idea what's gonna happen to the comic books. I'm sure Nate's gonna make some profit of owning the Preacher. Will it have the same level of success like The Walking Dead? I don't know. I don't think so. The Walking Dead is a phenomenon. It's way beyond anything else, and it's gonna be very hard for any comic book TV show to replicate that level of success. I don't think it's possible for Preacher. But before I go, I just remember something. Star Trek is coming back to TV. Yeah. Now that's the exciting news, okay? More so than the new trailer of Star Wars, the international trailer that was shown in the foreign market. Beats me why we need to do different trailers for different market. The marketing people have the answer, but I don't know. But Star Trek is relaunched next year on TV, on CBS. For those that have not heard that news, they finally rebooting the TV franchise to coincide with the 50-year anniversary of Star Trek. So you get a new Star Trek movie next year, as well as a new TV show. I am super excited. I can't wait. I miss a space adventure TV show. We have not had a TV show like that for a long time. The most recent space sci-fi I watch is it's on Netflix. Dark Matter. Does anybody watch Dark Matter? It's okay, it's nothing great. They did a lot with the low budget. Dark Matter is a space sci-fi TV show that has very little special effect. But I had to say they done good for the low budget, limited budget they have, and it's okay. It's passable, it's watchable, but I do love and can't wait to see a new Star Trek show. I can't wait. I'm more excited about that than Preacher, to be honest. I will watch Preacher, but if I had to say what's more anticipated for me now would be Star Trek. Just when I heard the news last week, I'm just like, oh my God, I've been waiting a long, long, long time for a new Star Trek TV show. So let's go. Let's hit it. Right on time. It is noon. It's time for lunch and then football. Anyhow, thanks everyone for joining me. Much appreciated as always. And if you want to appear on the screen with me, just shoot me a message that I have figured out now on how to read the comments along. So if I see your comments and you say that I want to appear on the live chat, then I will send you an invite and then you will pop in. But I'm fine with being on the screen with myself and communicating with the peeps this way. Okay, I enjoy the interaction. It's a lot of fun And I appreciate all those that participate and ask questions and comments, because it makes the 1 hour go by super fast. Anyhow, have a good Sunday. Enjoy your football, and I will see you next Sunday. I might switch up next Sunday just before I go, just because I know a lot of people might not be available Sunday. So next week, I might do a Saturday afternoon, just to switch it up. And if nobody tune in, that's fine. I can talk by myself for a little bit, but we'll do that. We do a Saturday afternoon just to switch up the time, and maybe new people, other people can participate that have not been able to get in at this time on every Sunday. Okay, that's it. Next Saturday afternoon. Bye. Thank you. Bye-bye.